You are watching Big Bonker Boi News. Okay, so I'm back with some news. This is some news that's not new to me anymore, but it's going to be new to you guys. There's one thing that's confirmed. There's actually two things that's confirmed. I don't know if I already told you guys about one of them, but I don't know. If I did, I'll tell you again. So, if you're wondering where I am, I'm just looking at all the towers I will see during the travel to South Dakota, during the South Dakota arc. So, I've been looking at random towers, seeing the cool ones, and trying to find the cool ones, but when I'll do that right now. So here's let's start off with the small thing first. The Texas arc is going to begin. The Texas arc is going to begin July the 16th. So it's going to be very soon. I already said it was going to be July, so it was already very soon. It's now July 1st, and we're getting very close to the release of the Texas arc. So Motor JK won't even call this the Texas arc because he said that San Antonio and Austin kind of got tossed away by Texas themselves, by the people, Texas people. He told me the reason why is because a lot of people from I forgot what other state it was, but he said there's a lot of people from a different state that kind of taken over both of them. But if it's in Texas, then it's in Texas. I'm calling it the Texas arc. So yeah, I'm going to do it just like Florida. So usually I would the main center of the arc I would name the arcs off of the main center of why we're there in that area. Which if I did that on the Texas arc, it'll be called the San Antonio arc. But I wanted to call it the Texas arc because I've never been to Texas before. This year's going to be my very first time going to Texas. So there's that. So there's one thing that's confirmed. This is going to start. It's going to start July 16th. So there's that. Now then, the other announcement. Well, first off, I was looking for something on Google. I thought I heard it rain. It's not raining yet, I don't think. But I was just looking at. I was going to look up something on Google for this announcement, and then I found this. Alexander residents raise concerns about proposed Verizon cell tower. Why would you want to raise concerns for a Verizon cell tower? Have you seen the ones around the Springfield area? Those towers are very cool. It's like one of my favorite types of towers, Verizon towers. Yeah, I know that's a joke. That's a joke. It's probably going to be a monopole or something that's speakingless, because that's today's. Actually, it's probably going to be some sort of hidden cell tower that's in plain sight. It's like in the power line or something, a power line pole, not the power line itself. But you know what I mean, right? Because I like how 1G towers, they were normal towers. They were like the normal ones you'll see on the streets and stuff. And then 1G, 2G, 3G are like normal looking towers you'll find everywhere. 4G is also normal but mostly monopole. And then 5G is basically just hidden cell towers here and there, like street lights and all that other stuff. Literally, that's how 5G towers are. It's probably the reason why they're my least favorite type of tower. It's not because it's 5G. It's because they don't actually have real. The towers themselves are literally just ordinary things like streetlight poles and all that crap. So that's why they're pretty boring. All right, now then, let's go to let's search for what I was searching for. Do you all remember the legendary and very holy certain arc that being the former biggest arc, the second Branson arc? Do you remember it? Do you remember it? It's currently the biggest Big LT arc ever, and it will stay at that title for I don't know how long. Y'all better remember it because it's one of the best arcs in the Big LT history. And we got good news. Just because the Florida arc is over doesn't mean it's truly over, because there's going to be a sequel to the biggest Big LT arc ever. The Florida arc. The second and reloaded travel run. I even know the date to this. This was confirmed to the second Florida arc, or the Florida arc, the second and reloaded travel run will take place next spring break 2022. So it's going to be a year from now. And it's funny how both the Florida arc and the Florida arc sequel are going to happen around the same time. The first one took place March it started March 18th and lasted not too sure, probably like at the very end of March. I don't know, but it started March 18th, and that was like the beginning of Florida. I mean, that was the beginning of spring break for my school district, basically. And it's going to be, and the sequel is going to happen at that same time. That is going to be awesome. Okay, so we also if I think I already told you guys already, but there are two main paths you can take to go to Florida. The first path being the path that we always take to go to Florida. You know, the path we took, the path we me and my family took, and during the first Florida arc. Well, this here, due to time and stuff, we might go through a second route. Yep, there's a second route. You have to go through Licking and Houston to it, and then you have to go through all these highways and all that, and then you'll have to cross through Mississippi and Alabama and Arkansas, maybe, I think. But it's going to be legendary, even though I won't be able to. The return of a lot of the famous boss towers and other towers in the first Florida arc, we'll probably have to wait. So that's the only bad thing. I'm going to turn off my street view. It's in the way. That's the only bad thing, really. But we get to see new towers. The reason why the first Florida arc was so awesome is because we got to see brand new towers that were never shown before, and we talked about them too. I mean, I talked about them and crap, but like I hyped them up and crap, you know. So yeah, and then we also went we went to Savannah in Georgia to go to a beach down there. I got to film some stuff there too, but the biggest thing I filmed in Savannah was at Beacon. Or was I even in Savannah? I don't know. That was around the beach. Yeah, I think that was around Savannah. Okay, never mind. That's Tybee Island. I filmed a KG225 around that area. So yeah, you know how I'm going to show you how arcs work in the Big LT. So the beginning of the arc is the uphill part of the arc. The uphill part is basically me and my family on our way to our destination. And then we got we got the middle ground. Basically, the middle ground is our destination. That's where we stop. And then usually we go downhill. This is the downhill part of the arc. Doesn't mean it goes bad like the downhill means really. It only means that that's the end of the arc. That's where the arc drops off and ends, you know. But the Florida arc, it I don't have my crown thing on. All right. The Florida arc, it went up. Then we went to the middle ground, and then we started to go down until my parents decided that we'll go to we'll spend a day in Savannah. Then we went up again because we had to travel to Savannah. So that gave us that gave the arcs a lot more time to thrive and crap. That you know, and then we went back to the middle ground, which is basically us in Savannah. And then finally, it went downhill, basically the end of the arc. And then that's how it ended. That's basically how the Florida arc was. And that's an unbeatable thing, really. Like the Florida arc, I don't think any sequel would ever beat it. You know, the Florida arc is a one-shot arc. If you don't know what a one-shot arc is, it's basically an arc that's so good that no sequel can beat it. Like, there's a lot of crap that was filmed, a lot of rare crap here and there, a lot of good things that happen, and all that stuff that no sequel would ever do in the same style. Like a sequel is basically redoing all that stuff and all that crap, and you know that's how it is. That's the reason why some sequels aren't that good and stuff, but some sequels are pretty good and all that. I expect the sequel to the Florida arc to be pretty good, but I don't expect it to stand up. I don't expect it to stand up right next to the original Florida arc, because I think the original Florida arc really is unbeatable. Really, there's a lot of good things that happen here and there and here and there and here and there. Like it all went right in this arc. But a sequel will just repeat that. But basically, the sequel repeats it. You got the up, you got the middle ground, and then last time the arc was just going to be this, but we went to Savannah, so it was like this. And then it went down because it ended. So that's how it was and all that crap. So yeah, but a sequel will just be like this, and all that is repeating stuff, like the return of all this crap and all that. So yeah, there's not going to be a lot of the material that was in the original arc, if you know what I mean. You know, this should be an easy thing to explain, but it feels hard, you know. Just yeah, I hopefully you guys understand, but you know, with this new path we're going to be taking, it can actually stand up as its own thing. Like it might be a sequel, but it's original, just like the original arc. You know, it's original, not just not just refilming most of the things. We will be going back to Orlando and all that, so I will be refilming some things and crap, and we might go back the same path or maybe through the first path and stuff. I don't know, but this new path, the second path I like to call it, basically is the original path we took to go to Florida for the very first time, and it was slow as hell. I remember that. I remember when the vacation was done, we were going home. I started to get very worried. I was just like, man, when are we going to get home? When are we going to get home? I remember there was one point where we were in this small town, and I was just like, we're never going home. We're never going home, because it felt like so long. It felt like years, you know. And I was littler back then, so time didn't go by that fast. But now time flies for me because, you know, that's how age works. Yeah, it's bullcrap, but still. So yeah, it was pretty dreadful to do that. I was just like, no, not that, please. Yeah, we also got lost a few times. That was something. I remember there's one point where we were using a GPS, and I live in Raleigh and crap. Oh, I got a weather update. Finally, no more thunderstorms. So so our GPS was leading us back to Raleigh and stuff where I live, but it took us just one place that was not Raleigh, but it said we reached our destination. I remember I was just like I was looking around the area looking for towers, and this was a long time ago. This was like 2011. This all happened in 2011 and stuff. I remember finding this very very small, very small red and white monopole, and I remember it having a modern incandescent. I was just like, holy crap, that beacon is gigantic. Man, that's a gigantic beacon. Crap, man. I known how small a tower was, but I still was just like wow. I was still in wow with how big the beacon on the tower looked because of how small the tower was. That's one thing I remember. There's a lot of things I remember, but if I talk about all of them, this video would be very long. But I think that's going to be the end of the video. I don't have anything else to say. That's the only two things I want to say. So yeah, you know what would be nice is if we can go through the original path that we took in in the original arc, and then when we go home we take that secondary path. I think that would be good, you know. So I don't know if you guys want. I bet you guys will want the return of the towers on the other path and stuff. But I want both towers on both paths to be filmed again. Well, for the first time for this new path, but a second time for the original path. Well, not original. You know what I mean. The path that we took in the first Florida arc. Okay, so that's going to be it for Man, I already forgot what this news is already called. So a bit. I mean that's it for the big bunker news. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, there's that. See you guys later. Bye.
You are watching Big Bonker Boi News.